We all have a deep instinctual yearning to connect with something greater than ourselves, to return to wild spaces where our souls feel most at home. I believe that if we journey into the wild, into this awe-inspiring, raw nature, it helps us to make sense of everything. Because in the bush, everything has a rhythm, a pulse, flowing between us, connecting us to this land, one heart to another. We understand birth. We understand death and survival. We understand the beauty in the now and how everything is connected. This endless space allows us to feel who we really are and what truly matters to us. That's what being in the wild is all about. Reconnecting to our breath and our deeper nature. Where will your breath take you?
Amazing. Welcome every single person that is here at this experience. It's not only going to be an interview, a webinar, it's going to be something greater than that, truly. I'm just making sure as well that everyone can see me, everyone can hear me. Give me some thumbs up if you can. Yes, some nodding. So thank you so much. So now, today we're going to be diving into passion, purpose, business, bringing two incredible powerhouses to the stage that I know personally, but of course, the SOMA Breath style. Before we even start talking about the event, before I even introduce this incredible duo to the stage, we're gonna be dancing and moving to the song that you just heard. It's their favorite song called Heaven by, of course, Niraj Naik. So please, I invite you all to stand up, feel the connection to your breath, to the sound, to the music. Just make sure you give yourself plenty of space and just feel that this is heaven. This is heaven right now. Let's begin the journey
Not just
of the
Niraj,
breath.
though. Niraj and Winio.
Absolutely.
Winio is
Niraj
the
and
singer
Winio, yes.
from Africa. It's very important detail.
And it's all connected. It's all connected. Why we're going to be talking as well about Africa today. Okay, are we ready, everyone? Tribe, let's get ready. To your breath, connect to the sounds, the vibrations, connect, feel it, feel it. Beautiful, 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 everyone. Welcome. Let me just hold on. Okie dokie. Now, how is everyone feeling? Just make sure that you calm the nervous system, come back to your breath. If you're just a little bit out of breath, that's okay. Welcome, truly welcome. Admitting more people as well to this incredible session. So blessed to be here with you. My name is Piotr GPL, SOMA Breath Master Transformational Coach, your host, your friend, your buddy, your guide, your partner in crime, and a person that knows the people that will be interviewed, that will be going through all their experiences with you today. I know all three of them because we have today Niraj Naik, the founder of SOMA Breath, the incredible person that has brought us all together and keeps bonding the community through the breath, through the movement, through the neurosomatics, through so many different avenues. And of course, we have today in this special session, Silke, and we have Sonja. And in today's session, it will be all about turning your passion into purpose. Discover the limitless potential of SOMA Breath. And of course, throughout this entire event, I want you to use the chat. Use the chat for any questions that you might be having, anything that you want to maybe go a bit deeper with. I will be moderating today's session. So I will be in the back looking at your chat, your input. And of course, if you're on YouTube, join us now via Zoom. We've just shared with you the link as well to come to the Zoom room, because in the Zoom room, we can then put you on the spot towards the very end if you want to suddenly ask a question live to Silke, to Sonja, and to Niraj. So turning your passion into purpose. I have, as mentioned before, met the two ladies in Bremen, in Germany. I loved the way both of them not only interacted with everyone that was at the SOMA Breath Fest in Germany, created by another incredible SOMA Breath instructor from Germany, Christina, but actually the way they were just driven to bring SOMA Breath to the world. And I find that people like that are just diamonds that will be bringing breathwork, SOMA Breath healing, their own stories, the power of their own stories to the world. And today, this is going to be an inspiring, transformative, fun, and engaging talk. So let me just quickly check, because I don't want just to be me monologuing here. How is everyone feeling right now? Okay, how is everyone? Sonja is smiling, which is great. Silke is smiling as well. And Marie, thank you so much for the thumbs up. Tommy, welcome back, brother. Janne, Merete, Kathy, thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Thank you for already using the chat box as well. We have people joining from Spain, from Illinois, from the States. Thank you, Ella. Delightful to see you and hear you, Piotr. Hello from Dubai. I'm glad as well, because I am in Spain right now. We had a bit of a blackout yesterday. Spain and Portugal were affected, but today, of course, you know, the energy of it all made us come here and be here together. No blackouts today. Yes, so we can all do this together. So thank you so much so use the chat. Keep using the chat, because it's very important for you to start voicing, bringing your questions to the surface, and then making sure as well that we're all part of this, because it's not just going to be an interview between Silke, Sonja, and Niraj, but I want you to feel connected to it. And the track that we've just listened to, as Niraj mentioned, with the incredible singer from Africa, and we will be touching as well on the retreats that Silke and Sonja are organizing, not only in Germany, but also in Africa. So just before I hand back the mic to Niraj and then to Silke and Sonja, let me just share with you this insightful thing about Silke, because she combines the wisdom of African nature, with scientifically based breathing techniques on the path to holistic health. And she will, of course, tell her own story, how she has overcome her illness and how that struggle brought her to this point where she is right now. And then Sonja is a SOMA Breath Master Transformational Coach. She has participated as a co-host of retreats in London. So if you were able to be in London, she was one of the co-leaders of the retreats, level 1 in London. And as mentioned before, they have such a story to share with you all, so that all of you can be inspired, that you feel that you're not alone in your stories, because from the cancer diagnosis, the illness, but also from raising a child with special needs, and that Sony has. It just feels so incredible to be here right now with you all, part of this tribe, because this is what SOMA Breath 3 does wonderfully. So turning your passion into purpose, discovering the limitless potential of SOMA Breath with Niraj Naik, Silke, and Sony. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, are we all ready? Are we all excited about this? Kathy, can I see some thumbs up? You're shaking your head. Tommy, you're excited. Admitting more people to the room. And now, my dear friend, brother, founder of SOMA Breath, Niraj, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Piotr. You could have just run the whole interview, man. You may as well. No, but yeah, I just want to say thank you for everybody showing up today, because it's really cool to support our incredible instructors who have been, like not just the ones that are being interviewed, but also like Piotr. He's got his own journey and been through also similar healing journey, and and also does amazing stuff around the world. And I'm sure there's other instructors on here as well who are all doing incredible stuff. But these two I wanted to really highlight, showcase, because I met Sonja in person actually in Ibiza, but then she was at our Austria retreat last year, and it was a really cool retreat. It was one of the best ones we've done so far. So we've got an amazing team now for Austria. And yeah, I was just very impressed with her experience, skills, and all of the things she's achieved, and very impressed about being able to raise a child with special needs whilst accomplish all of these amazing things. Silke haven't actually, I don't think we met in person yet, but I've heard lots of amazing stuff, and judging by that video, which is super cool, it seems like you're doing some very cool stuff. So I'd love to speak to you both. The idea is we want to inspire the SOMA Breath instructors, and hopefully there's a lot of instructors on this call, to follow the path, right? And get inspired and take action and create the belief system that absolutely anything is possible when you plug into what we've created with SOMA Breath, the curriculum. Not only can you transform your own life, but people around you, your friends, your family, your colleagues, and so on, employees if you've got a company. But then also you can actually build a career out of it and go on to do great things, as these two amazing ladies have. So let's just start. Whoever wants to start. Like, firstly, I'd love to know, how did you first discover SOMA Breath, and then what was it that was like the first thing that you did after the training that made you realize that this is it, this is what I want to do? Like, what was it about the practice? Go for it.
Sonny, go.
So Sonja?
All right. So actually, my life was like totally differently planned. I was dreaming my dream life as a flight attendant. But when life hit me with a child with special needs, like all my life plans got destroyed. And I started off as I've been like a athlete all my life. I started like as a trainer for other athletes. I became a yoga teacher. So there, when I was a yoga teacher, I had my first connection to the breath. And I did a 30 days tryout and did Kapalabhati. And when I did that, I had this lightning in my mind. I was like so crystal clear, and I had that also in the beginning when I was always crying because of the thing that happened to our son. There I had this clarity also, okay, and I never knew that was my breath. But then after doing the Kapalabhati, I wanted to know everything about breath and breathing. So I Googled around the internet, and I found Wim Hof, and I did 3 years of Wim Hof. And it was nice, but it did not give me all the answers. So I kept Googling, and one day, and I'm really, really grateful for David, who did that. He had this YouTube channel, and he was like comparing the different breathwork techniques, and I found SOMA Breath through him. And I did my first SOMA Breath session, and I was like completely in love from the first breath. And I wanted to know all about it. And I wanted to go into the teacher training right away. So I signed in and had my talk to Stephen in the first place. And he said like, oh, I have to talk to Niraj if we can improve you to the teacher training. And I was so nervous for 1 week if I will get accepted. And I was so glad. And then from that moment, it was like, I think it was 2021, there started my SOMA Breath journey. And there was not one single day ever since that I did not do my daily dose. Even though if I'm really short in time in the morning, I wake up half an hour early to do my daily dose because it's just belongs to me. Like, wow. I don't know, brushing my teeth whatsoever. And I love it. And I want to bring that into the world. This is my passion.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really, like, I've met Sonja, and she's very disciplined. And I can believe that she has never missed a day of doing it. I've actually made a 6-minute track for myself. It's actually, everyone's going to have it. It's on the app very soon, just so that I can make sure I do at least 6. I have such a crazy busy schedule, and especially having a baby now as well, that I sometimes don't have the time, right? Just be completely honest. I don't think everyone has. I think everyone can relate, you know, we're in a hectic time right now, but you can do 6 minutes. So I made like one dose that gives you a dose of intermittent hypoxia. It's going to be on the app soon. This is a really good session for all newbies and beginners, especially if you're just starting out. And it gives you that daily dose, which is all you need. It lifts you up. Obviously, you want to combine with other wellness practices. Like Sonja, you haven't mentioned what you do with yoga.
Yes, well, I combine the SOMA Breath tracks actually with yoga. And I have like my special series that I figured out. And I'm doing yoga with like either a 4-8 breath or 4-12 breath, or even a 4-16 breath, and holding the breath. So it's very slow. It goes very, very deep. And then you can also go and combine that with this functional, what's the name of it? Maybe Piotr, you might help.
Functional isometric training?
Yes.
Isometric.
Yeah.
Fit.
Yes. So I combine that with yoga, and yeah, people love that. I'll soon bring some out on my YouTube channel with those yoga techniques.
Well, we need to put some on the app. Maybe do some German ones as well. Very cool. Very cool. So that's really cool. So yeah, but you're also a yoga teacher. You've been doing TTCs for a while now, right?
Yeah, well, I'm yoga teacher trainer, so yeah.
So yeah, so it's if you're a yoga teacher, you can easily put SOMA Breath, integrate into your practice, like Sonja has, you know, which is a great way to expand what you're doing. All right, fantastic, Sonja. What about Silke?
What about Silke? Yeah, what about me?
Tell us all about.
Well, because we haven't met. Yeah, we haven't met so far in person, but obviously I've been through your trainings, and I'm following everything that is happening in the community. My way to my breath awakening is a little bit different. I was born in Berlin. I was raised in South Africa in apartheid in Zululand. So I'm a little Zulu girl still. I spoke Zulu in school. And then I returned home and I became a corporate consultant. I was self-employed for many, many years. So I know high achiever mindsets, where that leads you. I've done a lot of leadership training. And with that diagnosis I got in 2020,
What was that?
that was cancer.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I was actually on the height of everything. Everything was going so flippin' well in my life, I must say. I'm married to a gorgeous husband. I've got a beautiful house. I've earned my money, and then the cancer diagnosis struck me. That was, if you all here do remember, it was the first wave, 2000 high. So it was like everything was shut down, not like we could
Oh,
speak naturally like we do here. That was still the beginnings. I mean, there was
no
not a digital
way.
training. We were still off, and the entire therapy system went fully down. So the therapies that are normally available were not available to me. And what hit me even more was my entire family died of cancer. So I really am a very courageous person. I've had such a splendid life. I've always done amazing things. I'm not scared of anything, but I always had this one thing. I can do anything in the world, but I can't get cancer. And you know what I got. So talking about mindset, talking about belief systems, that was my belief system, and that's what I had to face. So after that, I really did a deep dive in everything that makes us healthy. And I went through epigenetics. I went through the classical school medicine. I did a lot of deep dives just to save my butt at the end of the day. I worked with healers in Africa. I really did everything because there was nothing at that time that really offered support. I went through surgery, I went through radiation, and then I stumbled across breath, and the breath found me. I didn't find the breath. I think the breath found me. And your question was, how did I get across SOMA? Well, I got a digital certification with another person. It was more like yoga body breath, pranayama. But when I heard the first SOMA breath session, it was, I mean, you've all heard the African song and the African mood. I'm an African girl, so it struck me so in my heart. It was like I connected on such a deep level of my essence, and that is the rhythm. I mean, I was just like drums, it was my heartbeat, and then I realized I'm still breathing. And that was really, I mean, it's the simple thing. I mean, we're all here, we're instructors, we are dealing with the breath, but the simple thing of coming to life with the first breath in, and then we leave life, the last breath out. I mean, I was so close on breathing my last breath, and now I just breathe every day, and I'm so flippin' awesome, grateful for everything, and that's what I do now. So yeah, that's what I do now. I help people fly with broken wings, which is quite cool.
Well, you got a gift of an amazing story. So, that is the way you can inspire a lot of people. So, have you completely gone into remission? No more. It's gone. There's no problem. Done.
Well, when is
Uh,
it always really gone? I mean, we will die with cancer or of cancer, that is the thing. But as of March last month, I'm an official cancer survivor.
Amazing. And that's actually something you have in common with Piotr, which is very cool,
Yeah.
very interesting. And quite a few people
Mm.
I've spoken to recently in SOMA Breath have had cancer and overcome it during the SOMA Breath journey that they've been on over the last few years. So I'm not saying SOMA Breath is
No,
going to cure cancer or anything like that
no,
whatsoever,
no.
but it certainly helps with the healing journey. For sure.
Niraj, there's one thing I always tell my patients that I have. It's, you've got this invisible enemy, which is basically eating you up from the inside. You don't see it. It's the most frightening
Mm,
thing. But then you've got the more powerful, invisible best friend, which is the breath. And that term, that analogy, it really sticks to the people and it helps them a lot because he's always there. The breath is always there. He will never leave you. It's doing its best to keep you into survival state. You must just listen and turn in. So that's that's the special part. And I've also got something in common with you because I was an asthmatic for 40 years. I've been on heavy drugs every day. I've had colitis. I've had it all chronic things. And with, being on my journey, I picked up one stone after the other. And I'm a breathwork instructor. I've even got a hernia, but I can breathe like hell. And I'm taking no medication whatsoever. So I'm more than in
So the
remission. I'm
asthma, all of that's gone.
cool. Yes, yes.
So
And
you're
I'm
just
also,
you're just a
Hmm?
totally transformed version of your old self.
Yes, I would say so. Yes, truly.
Wow, this
Hmm.
is amazing. Wow, fantastic. So now tell me what you do together. So how did you both meet?
So as
Sonny,
Piotr
go
already
ahead.
said, as, as Piotr already said, we met in Bremen when we were at Christina's place. And this was the first time Silke and I met. Well, we had contact before over the phone, but then we met at Christina. And yeah, it was like we felt really, really connected from the beginning. But still everyone was still like trying their own thing and walking their own path forward, but then we realized we are such two so strong power women, both with their own story, and what could be more powerful than two strong power women together? So this is how we put together our strength and going out to help as many people as possible to find the good thing in life again.
Wow, amazing. So so then you decided to work and create like retreats together?
Yeah.
It was a longer path than that, It was actually also in the community. We were in the chats, we were following up, and I posed
Ah,
two or
so
three questions in there.
you met through
Yes,
the SOMA Breath community.
yes, and I know who I want to speak to and connect to because I had some issues and I put the questions in the chat, and she was the one that really had precise, very good answers. And that was no Larifari, So I immediately said, "Oh, I want to meet that person. It's just interesting." And then I heard about her story, but she didn't make a fuss about it. It's just like not, "Oh yeah, I'm a mother of a, disabled child," but it was just like a mention at the side. It was not the main issue. And obviously I fell in love immediately. I have to admit it, Sonny, sorry. Love, that was my thing. And then I just went around, I tried to get her, and finally you see it worked.
See, that's the magic of this community. Like, so many people have like become best friends, family, have co-created stuff together. Like Piotr and Claudia did retreats together. I think they'll probably still do some more. Brooks collaborated with a bunch of peeps and so on and so forth. And so many people have like met up and done stuff together. And this is something I really encourage is this working with people, like collaboration, teamwork.
Yeah.
It's so much easier to get cool stuff going if you collaborate. Just so much easier.
And I must say, for us, collab, even in our team, I mean, there's other people as well now, but it's in our DNA. And it's not only that how we collaborate with others, it's also how we put partnerships, like be it retreat partners, be it expert partners. We're in panels where we work with podcasters. And once, it's so hard for everyone here to build up anything, or to coach or to do things on your own. It's AI. You've got to do marketing channels. You've got to do content creation. There's hundreds of things that you have to do. And you have to keep up to date, and you have to have a system behind it. And it can be so overwhelming. And for us, it's just the most natural thing. It's, if I may say, it's where I come from, it's Ubuntu. In South Africa, it's the African philosophy, I am because of you. And I love this Ubuntu thing. And it's really something we practice and we have as a ritual, Sonia and myself, but we believe in collabs. So we are really, this is the way to go in future.
Well, I love that Ubuntu. Yeah, that whole philosophy is really cool. It's what I believe in too, and it's actually the Hindu culture is very much about that too. So so you kind of made a good segue there into your advice you would give to up and coming instructors. Who here on this call, just by the way, who's actually an instructor? Just put a, yeah? Is most people on here instructors? Is there anyone here who's thinking about becoming an instructor? If you are, just say thinking. Okay, there's one. All right, so the people who are thinking about it, right? What would you say to people who are on the fence at the moment about becoming, who may, you know, they're curious, not sure if it's right for them yet. What would you say, someone like that?
Do it. I mean, it's like the path. First of all, it's all about getting to know yourself, getting to know your breath. That's what we focus on immensely. You know, going into the self-experiment, playing with breath, understanding it, diving into it. And then if you feel the call while doing it, maybe going deeper and becoming a coach and delivering what you know and bringing it forward. I mean, what we know from our past now is there's a huge demand. I mean, people don't know how to breathe, and it's something the world really needs. And I'm always saying it's like Sesame Street. Learn Sesame Street before you can do Macbeth. So start with functional breathing and just, you know, getting the basics right, then you can do anything with it. So, and the training is definitely something where you really dive into things, you understand, you explore, and then you release. That would be my answer to that.
Sonja?
Yeah, but when I hook up on that, the fun thing with SOMA Breath is that even the fundamental training is fun because you do it with the music. So I think it's like when you teach a child how to ride a bike, it wants to ride by itself, like right from the scratch. But if you teach a child like all the single steps, it will get bored. But with Soma Breath, you don't get bored in learning the basics because it's fun with the music. So if you think of thinking of becoming a teacher or a Soma Breath instructor, I can highly recommend it because it's just right from the beginning, it's fun.
If I also may just add my few cents, if you're already on this call, it means that you're called. It means that you're called to go beyond just practicing and just going through the daily doses and the incredible tracks. It actually means that you know that there's something beyond just a school. This is a community, a tribe that is just growing and evolving. And the fact that we are sitting here and everyone's in their own home and we see so many beautiful smiles on the screen here via Zoom, and we still feel the energy. We still feel how the breath is connecting us. And what beautiful Silke just mentioned as well, we come with a breath, we leave with a breath. But what we do with the breath in between is up to us. So it truly is all about you taking advantage of being part of that community and just learning, because as Sonny just mentioned, it is so fun to know about nitric oxide and about the Bohr effect. And if you don't know what the Bohr effect is, don't worry, join and become a Bohr effect teacher, because it is actually quite funny to understand how powerful you are. You are the biohack. I just wanted to add that to this because this is the power. This is what Soma Breath gave me. That fun knowledge with the music, with the tracks, and then everything just becomes like a beautiful, smooth way that you can incorporate that as well into your life with the yoga, with the business, with corporate, what Silke is doing, what Sony is doing. It is just so powerful.
Fantastic. I love it. And would you say like just like, I mean, you've both invested in the whole training. So would you say that investment is worth, if even if you didn't become a Soma Breath instructor, if you just followed the practices for yourself, do you think it's worth everybody should learn just for themselves, like just for the benefits you get from the transformation you get for yourself?
I would say
Well, just look at the people that are just nodding there. I mean, we don't have to say anything. Everybody's like, yeah.
This is a thing that I try to get across because like this is like life skills that no one teaches anywhere in universities, schools, nowhere. You're not going to find it in a yoga studio. You're not going to find it in a gym unless the SOMA Breath instructors go out there and get the classes in the gyms. Stuff, because the breath was never taken that seriously. It only got started taking it seriously when Wim Hof came along. Wim Hof exploded the whole awareness, and then COVID happened and people started to realize that they need to care about their health more. And that opened things up. But prior to that, like, you know, I was very niche. I was a little bit weird, you know, what I was doing. So breathwork was just beginning, really. But it's been around for many years. Like Stanislav Grof, he created holotropic breathwork. It's still based on pranayama and things like that. And this was in the 70s. And he used breathwork as an alternative to LSD. And he went really deep into psychotherapy and using the breath. And he found it was extremely powerful, getting people into the early life imprints where trauma begins and reversing that better than even drugs. So that's just one application of what you learn in SOMA Breath, is the holotropic style breath. But then the Wim Hof style stuff, which is from pranayama, the breath retention techniques, is also there. It's actually the first stuff you cover. And that method of just creating intermittent hypoxia has so many health benefits. It's just such a list, from, you know, increasing your energy levels, your efficiency of your mitochondria, your even has a cancer protective mechanism through p53 activation of the genome, and, you know, increases your red blood cell count, capillaries. It actually creates collaterals around your heart. It increases blood flow to your heart, which actually will prevent heart disease, right? So it's such a list of different things. And it's not me just making stuff up, right? You can actually look up intermittent hypoxic training and you'll see tons and tons of articles and research, and also clinics that do this with machines, and people spend thousands of dollars on these machines when actually we teach you how to do it with the breath, right? But in a cool way with the music. So that's just one of the methods, right? Then we have the holotropic. We have the whole functional isometric training that you're talking about as well, which is all of these exercise biohacks. There's SOMA yoga techniques. So it really is a complete way of life, a system of living. It's a breath-based lifestyle. And if all you did was use that for yourself, your life will change, right? You can then use that to fuel other like ambitions you might have in your life. Like maybe you want to create a big business, or maybe you want to be a SOMA Breath instructor and be a coach. Whatever it is, just having breath as the foundation of your lifestyle changes the game, right? Is that right? I think most people here agree with that. So, so what advice would you like both offer to people who have just done the training, right? And they're ready to get out there as instructors, like how to build a business. Let's talk now about how do you build a business? Because you two have obviously done that, and you have corporate background and experience. So you obviously know this from your previous experience. But let's say someone's just starting out. What can you offer them as advice?
So I would love to add something before we start going on that, because you just mentioned Wim Hof, you mentioned holotropic breathing and all that. What I find what is so special about SOMA Breath with the rhythmic breathing and the visualization techniques, I ask myself every morning, what energy do I need today? Because sometimes I am so stressed out because I am trying to push the business forward, and then it won't be a 2-2 for me, for example. I rather go in a 4-8 breathing just to calm myself down, to go into my strength, finding my inner strength to go through the day. Or on other days, because I have been sitting so long on the chair, I feel my hamstrings and my muscles beginning to cramp. So I do a little bit of yoga and the breath with a visualization of the light into all these parts of my body, and it works. I can sleep so much better because it really loosens everything. And I think this makes Soma Breath so unique, because you don't have that in all other methods. They have the method and you go part by part, but you don't have the possibility to just go for yourself or just go for all your clients, like for everybody. It's so unique.
Yes.
This is what I just wanted to add what you just said.
So actually what Sonja is talking about there is what we call neurosomatic programming, which is a combination of the transformational music, the structured breath work, and the guided hypnotic imagery. And this is a transformational modality. So, you know, it can be a long session, it can be even just short sessions, and it creates targeted transformation, like specific outcomes based on what you create as the guidance, which is amazing as a form of therapy. So if anyone is a hypnotherapist, this is hypnotherapy to another level, right? If anyone's to NLP, it takes NLP to a whole other level. When you bring the body into transformation through the breath, it changes everything. So yeah, thank you for pointing that out. But another track, types of tracks that we have are the breath entrainment sessions, which are the slow rhythmic breathing, right? Now my wife, there was this crazy bioweapon attack that happened over the last few months all over Europe. A lot of people were getting this crazy bronchitis, getting really sick with bronchitis. And Natasha had this just ongoing chest infection. It was just not going away. So, you know, she was trying other things. I said, look, do this track. Just try it. It's the Buteyko CO2 trainer. So since she's been doing it, right, all the symptoms have gone away. It's like she's a whole different person. And it's a slow rhythmic breathing track that trains you to have more CO2 in your system and get better oxygenation of your cells. It slows your breathing rate down. So just by doing that, you know, like Silke was talking about having asthma. Asthma is inflammation of the chest. It's just similar to what symptoms you get when you have bronchitis. It fixes it, right? Because we get bronchodilation, nitric oxide, bronchodilation. So it's a pharmacy. That's what Soma Breath really is. It's a pharmacy. It's a whole toolkit, a pharmacy of techniques which you get trained in. But yeah, go for it, Sonja.
Yeah, well, you ask how what we would recommend people that want to start their business. I would presume like start as soon as possible and go with your friends, with your family, start practicing and get self-confident and delivering Soma Breath meditations, because this is like the most important thing, that you get so confident, get confident with your voice, with the music, and guiding people through the sessions. This is really, really important. Record your own voice, listen to your own voice, listen to your own meditations, and like feel if you can feel them. So because you don't want to bring them only through words, you want to bring the people into the feelings. And don't be afraid of not knowing all the words. I don't know all the words now when I'm talking in English, so I'm stumbling sometimes, but so who cares? Just go with the flow, guide the people, guide yourself, like do it as if you're guiding yourself. And then don't stop, even and especially when you like start getting nervous or getting like, oh, I can't do this, it won't work out. Sometimes it's just this short before you make the next step. And then also find somebody that's at the same point as you or a little bit ahead of you or has other skills that you match with. So, and then go together and challenge each other and get stronger and stronger together, because a business alone is never possible.
Yes.
You will be small, this is okay, but if you want to go bigger, you have to team up.
Truth. Very good. Nice one,
I,
Sonja.
Roger wants to
Great.
say something.
I do. Thank you so much, Silke, for noticing. Because I love how, Sonja, you're so beautifully humble, right? How many retreats have you done so far? Because this is because every time I watch your social media and I'm in contact with you, you are either hosting a retreat, you're giving a retreat. So please just share with us. Do you even keep a number of retreats that you're hosting yourself?
I was trying to count. It must be more than 30 by now. I have like
Beautiful.
12 retreats a year that I'm doing.
There you go. Thank you so much, Sonja. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for listening. So this is Sonja.
Yeah.
Humble. She's like she's doing a
but-
few sessions here and there. Yeah.
This only works out because my husband and I changed. He quit his corporate job. He was like, Sonny, I don't want this world anymore. I don't want to go out there anymore. You burn. So you go, you earn the money now. I stay home and take care of the children. So I'm
Wow.
lucky one.
Do you know I say this to Natasha all the time? Can you please run my company so I can just look after the baby? She's
You
actually
have to
thinking
be
about
more
it.
convincing, Niraj, more convincing.
No, she did contemplate. No, she's like way better at running a company than I am, to be honest. So I really would love to switch roles. But
Maybe I should talk to her.
you should, because that's really
Well,
inspiring. That's really cool.
I would like to add one thing because I think it's the one thing is Sonny is being very humble. I mean, she's always camouflaged a little bit, but I know her and she's not only doing the retreats, I mean, she's doing the SOMA Breath experiences monthly with us already, and we've got annual subscribers. She's doing the awakening journey. And I mean, we're building a lot of other stuff. We're doing cancer coaching therapies, breath-based movement, healing things. I mean, it's a whole bundle of stuff that goes parallel to just the retreats. And you become very overwhelmed if you hear that. So everybody out there who's just at the beginning, begin to begin. That's all. We all have a beginner's mindset in our team. We always say, okay, we always try and lean in with a totally beginner mindset. We do our check-ins regularly, just humble, turn into ourselves, start with a simple 3-breath situation. That's to begin. And then you will grow. And as we just discussed, Niraj, community does help. It helps to answer questions, to share vulnerable situations. We even have on retreats, we had 2 situations in the past where there was really a problem. And we just phoned our backup team and they could just jump in immediately. And that was like, I had a panic attack client, just to say something like that. I was treating him 2 times a day because he had a breath hold time of 3 seconds. The
Wow.
doctors didn't accept him because he was like hyperventilated on a
Wow.
constant thing. So if he got into hospital and then just took him out because he had a pulse oximeter, everybody saw, oh yeah, it's 99% oxygen in the blood, no problem. So nobody understands the CO2 play with O2, okay? And he was so lost. So I was on a hike on 2,000 meters, long-term plan. And I always say to my clients, you can call me day and night. Nobody ever did it. Nobody ever did it because they're all 100% lovely people. But he did it because he was in a time of need. So I tried to breathe with him and I was sitting and like it was gashings of like wind and I could hardly hear, but I was breathing. And then I still had to move down at a point stage of time. And then I called Sonja. I said, listen, you just keep breathing. I call my colleague. And I said to Sonja, I've got this client. I just gave her 2 sentences. She knew exactly what to do. And I could walk down and she breathed with him. It was a Sunday, right, Sonny? I don't know. It was like really, but she just immediately, she got him on. And that was like, to me, that is what collab is about. That is what partnership is about. And that is what we have to deliver to our clients. Because if one of us falls sick, if one of us gets his child, whatever, the clients who've signed into something, they have to have a persistent coaching and somebody who can then jump in. So for us, it's very clear. And that's where the magic is. To begin, go into it, teach where you can, as Sonny said, teach with your friends. I mean, we all started with friends, right? I mean, Piotr, didn't you like also just coach friends and family? Everyone was like, oh, there she comes again. You know, breathing. And then we tried to make magic. And I think I've coached staff trainings with people in lodges, in communities for free. You know, I've been in Africa in the bush. I've done that with guides just to understand, how do they perceive it? Do they get my cues? Do they understand it? Do I have to phrase myself differently? And we've done the most amazing experiences based on that. And that is where you become a coach who doesn't go a line script, or is it SOMA, is it not? You know, at the end of the day, it's you deliver something of value. And that's where the magic happens.
Mm.
That's my perspective on it.
Love it. Very good perspective. So yeah, that's really good, compelling insights from both of you. So there's been a few questions now. So why don't we actually see who wants to ask some questions to these amazing ladies, Sonja and Silke? I know
So
Dina's
just
got one question maybe
yeah.
she wants to ask on camera.
Perfect. Yes, Dina, do you want to? And of course, whoever wants to use the react button as well and raise your hand through the react button, not just by raising your hand on the screen, because we don't see everyone. So just use the emoji there. And then Dina, if you would like to hop on, and of
She
course,
says,
in the oh, there are noise
she
around
says
me.
she's in,
How often?
yeah.
How often do you conduct sessions? Each time I give sessions, I feel so alive and so vibrant, but I am scared to do it every week because it requires a lot of preparation.
Ollie, that's yours.
So yeah, we decided to do it once a month only, because when we do it once a week, it's just people not really signing in. But when we have it once a month, they really like waiting for the first day of the month when we're giving it. And so we have a big audience then. So, and we have time. And after the session, we have for our signed in clients, they have like a 2-week chance to redo the session. And then we have like the next like session, like once a month. This is enough. If you do a longer session. And I also have we have a YouTube channel. So in the meantime, they can use the YouTube.
Okay.
And also, we're talking about SOMA Breath experiences now, right? But obviously, it also, if you talk about sessions, you know, you can also do one-on-one coachings. That is, you know, depending on where your energy is and your capacity is. There's definitely a space limited, you know, on one-on-one coachings that you can do. I've got a limit of like 6 that I take. That's not more is possible. But sessions and then other things that you do, you must need space and time to recover for yourself. And that is also key.
And also before, like 1 year ago, I still had my own yoga studio, and I was delivering yoga and SOMA Breath every single week. And for that, I did like also for 4 weeks, I did the same session because people don't get bored. They love the music, and they also love to compare themselves. If they see, okay, last time I could hold my breath in this session, this and this long. Next time they can do that, because they are also overwhelmed if you talk too much. Even in the live sessions, you don't need to talk too much. The music does the most. So you can really relax, and people will love it anyways.
Amazing.
So, but I sold my
How
yoga
many
studio.
people-
Of course, I have too
how many-
much to do.
How many people come to your classes when you do it once a month?
20. But we've got those on the subscriptions. We actually got, you know, like a fan base. You start off and there's people coming in, people leaving. It's quite a fluctuation. And the more, I mean, that's what we preach, persistency, stick to it. You know, it's hard. And Dina just asked, you know, how many sessions? Just stick to it so people get to know you, and then you can enlarge your things. We've got newsletters, we write blogs. So we do always also link things together. That is, I think, a good idea. And then, you know, you've got your fans, and they go through everything. We've got people that we've coached, then they go through the SOMA experiences because their nervous system was regulated, and we felt quite, confident to taking them on deeper journeys as well, that Sonny does quite regularly. And then, they go on a retreat. And so you've got the entire net. And our thing is, we want to offer you a portal, a door to step into the right access that you need. Because some people want to start with functional breathing. The other want to go like more in a festival music feel, like, it, Niraj, from your sessions that you do. And other people come really with a problem, with a health problem. And so whatever door they choose, once it opens, they explore the room, and then they want to step maybe into another room and explore that. And that's the whole world of breath work. And I think if you deliver that one day, that is where the magic kicks in. And that is where, once in our net, they never leave us if we do a good job.
Yes.
What I also want, I would like to mention here, since I just said in the chat, I believe once a month gives time to people to digest and practice and get ready for the next month. You're great. Congratulations. I truly believe as well from experience that it's all about what Sonny said, creating hunger. People want to first obviously get to know you. You create some movement around what you are able to deliver. And then people want that. They want to starve for your breathwork, for the journey that you can give them. And as Silke beautifully mentioned, having that net and the opportunity to do coaching, mentorship, a retreat once a quarter, for example, having more group sessions, online presence. But the only thing I really want to say to so many of you all, and this is me mirroring to myself, never be discouraged. Don't be discouraged, because and this is where a lot of the people that I interact with also, they try to find new clients. And I always like to say, you have the clients already around you. Maybe in the library that you read the books, maybe the pharmacy, so you are already part of communities. And a lot of people don't realize you're trying to find a new client, but actually the client is already within your scope, within that net. So you just have to listen, be very mindful, because SOMA Breath, what it does beautifully is it can help with so much transformation, helping with the journey of healing. All the areas from health, wealth, relationships, love, sexual energy, ecstatic dance. I mean, there is no one area that SOMA Breath will not help. Okay, so let's be completely honest. If you type in the chat if there's an area that SOMA Breath cannot help, let me know, because I really want to explore. Because SOMA Breath has the ability to help literally everyone. That is my belief, and I've noticed as well that every single client from all the sessions has truly felt that as well through that experience.
Nice. So I did a recent call, a big training on how to create your marketing message, your profile, and even an offer, right? That you can use to pull clients to you, so you don't have to be pushing all the time. And it was really good. If anyone hasn't seen it yet, watch the replay of the last big call that I did. Okay. But what the philosophy of this is, and it's how I've built my whole business, is just think back to what was the first thing that turned you on to the product that you want to sell, right? Let's say SOMA Breath. What was the reason you got into it? If you think back to that first moment, all of the steps you took and reverse engineer it, you can start to get a idea of ways you can attract people like you, because it's much easier to influence people who are just like you, right? Who've been through similar situations as you, life problems, have suffered maybe the same illnesses, or have the same career background, corporate background, so on and so forth. So it's much easier to influence people just like you. Right? And that's why SOMA Breath is such a cool thing, because everyone attracts a different audience. So it's very hard to cookie cut me and attract the whole world. But with SOMA Breath having all these different personalities, we can attract the whole world. That's the whole mission. But what part of the process is that I go through is I use ChatGPT to generate the marketing profile at the end of it. But what I find out is like, what was your own transformation with the technique? Because for me, the reason why I even invented SOMA Breath is because I transform myself with all of those techniques in different ways, different orders, not in such a sequence as we've created now, but kind of through trial and error. And then I made my own more upgraded therapy that works for me, but also is a way for me to scale it, right, with others, because that's what worked for me. But like, your reason why, the why for why you became a SOMA Breath instructor is really important. So, you know, from that you can create a very powerful message that speaks to your ideal, like, kind of the people. So in Sonja's case, you know, well, let's start with Silke first. Is the cancer experience, right? Piotr has the same. So healing through cancer. Now, so many people have autoimmune diseases, cancer, chronic illnesses. You could even just focus on helping people who are going through the cancer journey, right? Just with that alone, if you just had 200 people in the world paying you 20 euros a month, right, to do one session live online, right? It's possible to find that, because there's a huge amount of people with that problem who would pick you out because you have the same backstory, right? I'm just giving everybody an idea of like different ways you can create a business model. So, you know, you can find people just like you, find a magic number of people that you want to serve that gives you an income each month that can help you live a lifestyle that you want. So that's kind of my process. That's how I help people. And in the early days, what a lot of people get stuck with is, what niche should I go into? Who should I serve? Or how do I advertise myself? Who do I advertise myself? So I definitely want to ask you both some questions on that. You know, Sonja has a story of working with children, especially. She's also a yoga teacher, has a very experienced background in yoga, and has her own unique story. And from that, I mean, what was the reason you got into SOMA Breath again? What was the thing that turned you on about it?
Well, for me, it was I wanted to know everything about the breath. I wanted to know why the breath is helping me to get this clarity in my mind and calming me down. So, and everything I had experienced before, when my child was born, I was blurring my eyes out, and I was like, one day I cried so much that I felt unconscious.
Wow.
And when I woke up, I had this clarity, and I did not know that it was my breath that took me out of the darkness that time. But afterwards, I found it in the breath work from pranayama. And then I was like so hooked on it, and I was obsessed to find everything out. And also the thing with the music, and like with a positive energy, like cheering myself up, because I remember my son was crying and I was jumping up and down with him on my arm, listening to some music. I'm happy, like this. So I was so sad, but hearing the song that cheering me up, and with SOMA, it came all together. It was the breath, it was the music, and it just, this uplifting, it was so fantastic. And so this is how I couldn't resist anymore.
So look,
doing
what if
SOMA
we
Breath.
just sampled what you just said, right, and made a transcript? That is a very powerful message. That's what marketing is communication, and what you just said for you is if you just tweak it a little bit, is a very powerful message to pull clients into what you do, because it has your story, it has the pain points, it has the benefits, it has all the reasons why, and it's all natural the way you say it. It's from the heart. So yeah, that's a very powerful campaign of sewing. So I always ask people now, as instructors, go back in time, right? Maybe it wasn't SOMA Breath that transformed you. Maybe you got into SOMA Breath later on, but what was a thing that transformed? Think of those times, the pain you were going through, because that's the people you want to help. Is the people who, you don't want to help people who are like you now. You want to help the people who were like you when you were suffering, right? When you were pre the breath work, pre the yoga, pre the all of that. And that, if you can help those people, you'll have such a fulfilling career. You know, like I'm a pharmacist, so whenever I see pharmacists, doctors coming into our community, I get really lit up because I'm like, this was the mission, is I want to transform those people, especially Indian medics. I love it when Indian medics come into the community because we really get it, right? We really get each other. So here's one on the call, I think, right now. Dr. Rajendra Reddy. Nice. Okay, Silke, you want to add something?
Yeah, I want to add one thing that, you talked about finding where the source was, what connected you to that breathwork thing and what you want to deliver and where's your audience. Now, if you think about any jobs that are into care, where we care for other people, that's one thing I want to share because it's still quite fresh in my learning. When you deal, like in a clinical context, in a therapeutical context, with experts, with people that are vulnerable in vulnerable situations, you always also get triggered to your own story again. I don't know if Piotr also got it, but this thing about being close to death or being vulnerable, having been through that, it's always moving you a little bit especially when you work closely with people. So you have to just be very clear on where your bubble is, where your safety zone is, where it's theirs, where it's yours. And that is why the theme of this webinar is passion and purpose somehow, That's why Sonja and I decided we have to do something where we can go into it full force, full empathy, full knowledge, really go into lean to those people, deliver value even on an expert level. We have a lot of doctors, oncologists, we actually coach as well, but then do something that is passionate, that is light, that is like where you can sparkle again, because it's darkness and light, and that is, I think, also SOMA, because then we dance. I mean, we made it a ritual. If we as a team, we really dive deep, it's hard sometimes, content creation, business building, and if we're stuck, we get up, we dance like we all did in the beginning. We shake out like crazy. We laugh, and then it's done. It sounds so simple maybe now, but it's just, this is the fluidity we have to deal with. And that's just what I wanted to add, Niraj. It's great to have that impact. But sometimes it rips my heart apart if I work with people that are close to dying. I mean, we can't save all of them, but you have to take them to a center.
Yeah, you don't have to go for the really sick, because you could work with the people to prevent them from going that far, right?
Some people come and that's where they are, and that's where we help, and that's where we can help. That's why our network is so good. And you said there are doctors here. We actually open the door because we have gone through your program, so we work trauma informed. But once they know there's a door open and there's a light shining in and they want to step into that room, then we've got our experts and we take them there. And then they can do the hard work with them, who are psychologists and therapists and so on. And in Germany, we have to recall the legal and the regulations are very different to the rest of the world. Okay, so breathwork is still in its like pioneering stage. We still have to do a lot of education. We Germans, we're like squareheads a little bit. We go via bureaucracy, rules, regulations, and even bringing that into the clinical concept for us, it's quite a mission. We always have to go via the science-backed information. We have to go through the head, through the knowledge, into their hearts. That's our approach.
Yes, and actually that gives leverage, is if you can work with the people who are in the field, the doctors, the oncologists. That's how you can make a big change, big impact.
Yes.
That's part of my mission. So that's fantastic. Very cool. Very cool. Okay, so as we're nearing the end of this, like, why don't we move on to go into your retreat that's coming up? Like, tell us all about that and who it's for and so on.
Wow, that's a dream come true for Sonja and myself, right? Because, that's where everything falls together. I mean, it's like we go to Africa, to Namibia. We have rented a space there in one of the most remote areas in the wild. It's with our habitats. It's a luxury chain of a brand that is in the bush. So we actually go into the bush. We see how survival strategies are lived. You know, like if an antelope is being hunted from a lion, we see how our raw nature acts. They shake off, you know. So we see how fight and flight, our sympathetic mode is switched on. We see what is happening, and our brain is still, you know, ancient. You know, it's old. It doesn't adapt so quickly. So we are being in the center stage of the raw wild, and we explain and we go with them and teach them. We've got silent disco sets. We go through SOMA experiences. We go on silent bushwalks, and we have dinners under the stars. We have drummers, live drumming. We have sounds, we have silence, we have everything. And it's the first we do, and we've teamed up with our habitats. We're going to do a whole retreat series, and it's called Breathe Wild. It's a safari for body, mind, and soul. So it's our journey. It's everybody's journey. It's in the cradle of mankind. That's where all we come from. And we invite actually everybody to come, and we are looking for instructors that want to build a retreat business and join us there, because at that centerpiece, at that first unique full buyout situation we have, we can do whatever we want. We can create pictures, we can play, we can experiment, and we can have that as a basis to go across Africa and across international with our habitats that have accepted us as their signature breathwork partners, which is quite a big thing. And we are being on a global press release now. And Niraj, I don't know whether you know, actually it's been released, and the Grazia, I mean, I don't know who knows it. It's like a, you know, popular magazine, the Grazia, about fashion and beauty and everything. They have asked us if there's anything special about the retreat that is different to anything else, and we said it's actually sober, and we said it's the science-based. It's based on Cambridge, but we're bringing the science of breathwork into the spirituality of the raw nature. And so we made a claim there, and if all goes well, we will be featured on the 2026 Trend magazine as one of the 10 top retreats in the world.
Nice.
Yay! So I think that is so cool.
That's really
Yeah,
good.
and for that's what we wanted to offer. We wanted to say, hey, there's such a cool group of amazing instructors and people out there. If, I don't know, Niraj, we bring them there. So far, we've got a waiting list, but we wanted to finish this webinar off and say, can we do something on SOMA? Can we unite there? Can we make like I don't know, something different, make the impossible possible? We've got the music, we've got heaven. It will be heaven. Take the artists there, take instructors there, take people to go wild there and deeply connect to our nature. That's what we... I'm still breathless a little bit about it.
Well, I don't see why
So
not.
cool.
I'm sure we can make something happen. I mean, I want to go to it, so obviously.
Come.
And
Yeah, we hold the space until end of next month, because then we have to actually put our clients that are on a waiting list, we have to answer, you know. But until then, we can hold them. But it will only be now because it's in October. It's from the 18th to the 24th of October. I don't know if we can put the link in, Piotr, so that people can just have a look at it.
Yeah,
absolutely. Thank you, Silke. The links are already in. Sorry, Niraj. The links are already in the chat, so please feel free to copy the links. And I mean, I am excited. I feel the vibration in my heart, because also the continent Africa has called me several times, and I've been to Africa. And for me, there is a pull. What you said earlier in our private conversation. We all come from Africa. We all go back to Africa. There's something so powerful when you said that, and I feel that connection. So that sounds incredible. So we have the links already in the chat. Feel free to copy and paste these links, and then yes, absolutely yes. Feel free to then connect to us all and just be at that retreat. Oh my God, 18th to the 24th of October, 2025. Woof, woof.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
All right.
And we've spoken, we've been there, we've spoken to the guides, we do bushwalks, we go do bush drives. They know us. I've done staff training there with the entire community, and they have been interested in breathing, even like the tribe there. Although they understand all about nature, the science behind it was like really thrilling to them. So I thought that was so cool to get them, suddenly we even had them with us, at the end of the day, we just opened the circle and we said, everybody's here because it's an exclusive event. Everybody's there for us. So we can unite, that is Ubuntu, Niraj, right? That is community, and that is being brave and being non-script.
Yes. Very cool. Looks very nice, very impressive. So
Thank
I'll
you.
have a look through this as well.
Cool.
So any final words you want to share with anybody?
So begin on your journey. That's all. Breathe in, breathe out, enjoy life, connect. And thank you, Niraj, for having this inspiring space for us, for making it possible to present ourselves, to connect and maybe deliver or inspire somebody. I don't know, but thank you for that.
And I've
Amazing.
said never
Much love.
stop
cool.
dreaming. Always follow your dreams, because maybe not the next morning they will come true, but they will come true, definitely. And yeah, start going for it.
Indeed. Indeed.
Dream big.
You can only get somewhere if you start. So yes, very cool. All right. Was there any other questions anybody had? We've got the last few minutes left.
Well, we have people from India wanting to become the instructors and wanting to find out as well. So we have now Monica also adding more links to the chat. But by all means, thank you all so much, because this is so inspiring. This is so, I think what I love about you both and about Niraj and everyone that I know from this call is that when you really can squeeze your story and really own your story and understand that that story has power, and and don't be scared to sharing that story with the world, you will see that, first of all, you're not alone. So many other people are hungry for hearing that story, being around you, and that is the power of community, of Soma Breath. And then as we're here together, it's all about collaboration, co-creation, making it happen. Because as Silke beautifully mentioned before with Sonny, you'll have days when you might feel like, what, this is really overwhelming. It's really overwhelming. And when you have that partner in crime, like I would have Claudia, where we have each other as the tribe here, you can have these moments where, what, today let me just be me, but you take over. And that person is like, what, I got your back. And today I am the one co-creating, collaborating. And that is the power of community, of being together. So thank you so much for sharing your stories and sharing this power with us all. And whoever, please feel free to connect as well to Silke and Sonja. Monica, if you can put into the chat box as well their social media accounts, so we can make sure as well that people will be going to Silke and to Sonja, so we can have a full transformative group, tribe, community afterwards as well, and letting us know, of course, in the next days, weeks, months, how we can all just be together and grow together. I'm gonna be putting in the chat the links as well in a moment. Niraj?
Yes, very good. Yeah, very good. Really insightful stuff today, and I think everyone got a lot of amazing value from it and got inspired.
And thank you so very
fantastic.
much.
Yeah, thank you. So
A very
I
cool
think
group here in the chats. It's like really funky. I mean, I really love the people that are responding. I'm just looking at it now. It's really sweet. Thank you so much for all those kind words.
Yeah, we have a very cool community. Very cool. All right, everyone. Very good. Really enjoyed this conversation, and much luck and positive energy for the retreat coming up and everything else. And
Thank you.
we'll see you soon.
We will see. We'll need a bit of feedback from you both in the next couple of days and weeks, how everything is going and growing, and the waiting list is just probably just expanding. Because I'm joining that waiting list, by the way. So if you want to see me in Namibia, I'll be there. Silke, Sonja, I'm joining. Niraj, maybe I just pushed you out of the waiting list. I'm not sure, brother, but it is what it is. I'm only joking. This is just me putting my few seeds of sense in.
Well, we should
Thank
all
you
have
so
it.
Come
much.
first serve.
Thank you so
That's what
much.
Niraj said, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Cool. All
Thank
right.
you.
Much love, everyone.
Thank you all so much. All the best. Thank you very much, everyone.
All
Many
the
blessings your way. Many blessings. Let me just put everyone on the big screen. Here we go. Gallery view, hearts. There you go. Thank you all so much.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Mwah.
Wonderful. Cool. Thank you.
We'll see you
Danke
next time.
schön. Danke. Auf Wiedersehen. Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf
Au
Wiedersehen.
revoir. Adieu.
Adieu. Gracias.
Salud,
Hasta luego.
Piotr. Gracias. Hasta
Ah,
luego.
Gracias.
Dziękuję. Ciao. Ciao.
Ciao.